Welcome to the HSP Hood Sistas Podcast.
We are not from the hood, but we are sisters that talk about sisterhood, family, culture, music, and more. So, my sister, how are you doing today?
I'm feeling stable now. I was on shaky grounds, trying to get my balance right, but nah, I'm great. I've been having an amazing day. We had some technical difficulties getting here, but we're here. I'm so happy that we're here. How about you? How you feeling?
Today is a day, but we are getting through the day. But as you said, a few technical difficulties, a few stuff going on in my personal life that's just been irritating me lately. But yeah, we are here. We are getting through it.
You know what? I mean, since we're, I was gonna say, I know we usually go in the order of, one, two, three, what it is with me. Do you want to just get it off your breast now? Like, are you good? Do you want to stay in order, or do you feel like you need to
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm eating in the middle of this. It's been a day.
take your bra off
We,
now? Take your bra
we
off.
can get it off our breast.
Yeah. All right. Okay. You ready to take your bra off?
Mine's already off today, actually. It's one of them days.
Wow. So okay. Well, come. All right. So well, while you're eating, like I said, our guests, I'm pretty sure y'all are eating at home, watching us, maybe. But so okay, let's just jump right into it. Your bra's off,
Yeah. Bras
strapless.
off. Tits are hanging loose today. Just feeling free.
Mhm.
My get it off your breast for today is gonna be when you see me having me time, don't bother me. Okay. I feel like when you get into your routines, going to work, being in a relationship, etc., you can lose sight of having me time. And my me time is very important to me because I work a full-time job and I have a full-time relationship. So it's very little time that I have for me by myself, me, myself, and I. So when you see me indulging in that time, if I'm on a lunch break or if I'm at home chilling by myself, please don't bother me because I have a very, very small window for myself and you're interrupting that window. And I feel like that's just selfish. So the way people could support me is to, like I said, when you see me having me time, don't bother me. Thank you. That's all I have.
As a bystander, right, that may not know what that looks like, when you take that time to go get me time, are you announcing, hey, this is me time? Or are people supposed to just assume that if I see Jay by her, oh no, it's announced. You're not just saying that if I'm reading my book and I'm off in the cut, you're communicating it and it's the boundaries are still being violated.
It is announced every single time. Hey, I'm about to do this. Please don't bother me. Hey, I'm about to read my Bible. Please let me and the
We're
Lord
not
have.
in Bible study. Oh,
That is announced every single time. And for whatever reason, people just can't seem to get that. And even when I go to lunch, I used to take lunch at my job, but now I actually leave the building so people don't even have a choice. Like you can't bother me because I'm gone now. So boundaries are there and boundaries are, just not being respected for whatever reason. So moving forward, I hope people get it together and realize I'm serious about this because I don't want to snap on people. But sometimes it gotta happen. But what do you have to get off of your breast for this week?
Um, I can relate to what you said. For me, my get it off your breast is that I just want people to just think for themselves. I feel like in this era of artificial intelligence, people see other humans and they're like, hey, you know what? I wonder what she thinks. Let me ask her to use her brain. I don't want to participate in what you're eating for dinner or what you should watch next or what you're wearing. I don't want to think for you at all. And I feel like if we're in an era where Chat GPT and all these other different mediums are there, go use the robots and let them think for you. Because I think it's lazy sometimes. Like I'm not gonna get into any specifics. I don't I really I'm not trying to no, I'm not gonna get into any specifics, but I just know when it's just lazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like this, right? It's like imagine going to the gym and I say, hey, Jake, can you lift that weight for me? Like it's not gonna benefit me. You know what I mean? It's like people will use your brain to think things through from them, and then because they don't want to think through the hard stuff, and now you're drained, and it's just draining for me. Someone might call me, like, what you think I should do about? And it's one thing to get advice, but I think that sometimes it's just so mundane. Like, what you think I should eat? I don't, what you hungry for? Like, so just for me, stop, like, just think, before you come and ask me to think for you. I don't think people are thinking before they're asking other people to think. That's called consultation. Because if we want to get into that, I do provide that as a service at the casagency.com. So if you would like to book a consultation, let's understand the difference. I talk to my sister. I can think for my sister. Like there's certain people I don't mind jumping in to be like, okay, my sister's younger than me. Let me use my brain power to help her navigate. Don't just please use AI. But there, I've had too many scenarios when it's just like my thoughts. It makes me think that if you're asking me, you think my thoughts are valuable, you should pay me for my thoughts.
I
Yeah.
agree with that. And I feel like we talk about that a lot lately. Like people just don't be putting on their thinking caps. They leave it at home. They don't travel with it. They just take it off.
It just
I feel like they need to travel with it at all times. You should always have your thinking cap on you or with you, but don't just leave it at home and give that to somebody else to think for you. So I totally agree with that.
There's actually, I know this is random, but my pops, he has a brand called, as you know, BYDS, but he released some hats and they say think on them. And I had asked him the other day, we were talking about it. I was like, why did you write think on a hat? He was like, because ain't nobody using their thinking cap. And I'm like, Tahjai would appreciate this. So he has hats that he's dropping that says think. Before you do something, think. And it's based on that whole thing. So I'm like, imagine when I see him with that on, it makes me think I hope you're thinking. Like, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to that. But okay, so and how the people can support me, just think for yourselves. Simple. That's it. And I'll be thankful for you thinking for yourself. There you the utmost. You see what I did there? Okay. All right. So cool. So we're gonna jump right into 1, 2, 3, what it is this week. Do you want to start with the one that you have, or do you want me to?
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna start with mine and the other two. So as y'all can see, there is still a Christmas tree up in the background. Um, I have been saying this Christmas tree needs to come down, this Christmas tree needs to come down, but we don't have a lamp. So this is kind of like a nightlight over here because we don't have a lamp. So it's just like we're gonna keep this up until we have a lamp. But come February, I'm putting my foot down and we're gonna have to take it down and just not deal with it. But that's really the reason why it's been up, because it adds extra ambiance in the room. But that's what's going on with me this week is freaking January 22nd and December. Wow. Christmas was December 25th of 2023.
From the month.
And we're in a whole new year and the Christmas tree has come with us into the new year. So that's what's going on with me this week.
Okay, I actually had no Christmas tree. It's nice that you had one. I try to see the positivity in it. Like it's so nice y'all had a tree. Okay, that's I pray that the tree comes down before the 25th of January.
Me too.
I pray. What is it? Are you supposed to be doing it together? Is it like a tag team thing?
Not really a tag team thing, but come February 1st, if it's still up, I'm taking it down. We're not doing that. Okay. So maybe come January 31st, I should say, the Christmas tree is coming down.
I could always get a flashlight and just tape it. If you're worried about having a nightlight, you can buy a flashlight and just.
You know, when I have these conversations with you, I would like for you to take me serious.
Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. We were sistering for a moment. This is like, I need you to take me serious. Okay, my bad. I forgot we was on Zoom. Just okay, cool. So we're gonna get into the next 1, 2, 3. What it is with me. You're Ari Lennox fan, right? Like, I feel like you're okay. Cool. Shout out to Ari. Shout out to Dreamville. Knew Ari when I was back at Howard University. I actually did one of my first shows with her. So she's on tour with Rod Wave. And she's just been saying how terrible it's been for her. Now, they're gonna, I'm not gonna lie, we need to have a GIF or a reaction when Jay hit this one. Like, she was complaining about being unhappy on the tour, that she was like, they just don't like her, that she's having a hard time connecting with them. It just feels uncomfortable. And I've heard some people say that just get off the tour. But then I've heard other people say that she said, well, the money was really good because Rod Wave is selling out arenas. So I wanted to know your opinion, right? If you're Rod Wave and I'm Ari Lennox and you put me on tour and I'm opening for you and you're giving me this opportunity, right? The economy is tough right now, right? Because some people will say that that's the job of being an opening act. It's your job to get out there and make your fans like you. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're saying that this is quiet, even Queen Naja, I think she opened up for Mary J. Blige. Is you okay? Take your time. I think Queen Naja opened up for Mary J. or DDG. I was watching a couple of YouTubers and they were just talking about how grateful they were. But I think Joe Budden was mentioning that, hey, like if they're not connecting with you, you can get off the tour, or work harder. Like what are you complaining about? So wanted to know both perspectives. Like, how do you feel about being in Ari Lennox's shoes versus Rod, or even in Rod Wave's shoes? Like, let's start with Rod Wave. How would you feel if I'm on your tour as Ari Lennox and you hear me complaining about not liking being on tour with you?
For one, I would not take it personal because she said she's not connecting with the audience. She didn't say it had anything to do with Rod Wave personally. So I would not take it personal. And for two, I would just be mindful who I bring on tour next. Like they have two different vibes, two different fan bases. Like people that are coming to see Rod Wave, they're coming to see that type of music that Rod Wave provides. Like Ari Lennox is more soulful. Rod Wave is soulful too, but it's like soulful, like talking about things that he's been through. Ari Lennox is more so like soulful and a be like sensual, like it's just a different vibe. So I would just be mindful of who I bring on tour next time and like make sure my audience is still getting a little bit of what I do, but in a different way or a different category. Like it kind of, I just feel like it's just two different audiences. They have two different audiences. So for her to feel that way, I understand because if someone is coming to see a certain type of artist, even if you're the best out, if they don't like your music, they just don't like your music. Or if they don't vibe with you, they just don't vibe with you. Like you may be able to get a few fans to convert, but it's not like those fans are specifically coming to see you. So I feel
Okay.
like it's just like a difficult position to be in because she still needs to be on tour, make her money, and etc. But if she is going out on stage and not having good feedback from the audience, it's kind of just like it might be a mental thing. Like, dang, I'm doing all that I can, but y'all not really rocking with me.
Do
So
you
it's
think
kind of like,
you think that for whatever the tour people, because I think Joe Budden was saying, talk to your management. Like, do you think that that was a good mix like that? Because like you said, it's two different types of soul, but do you think that maybe the manager, whoever booked the tour was like, you know what, maybe they can cross over? Or do you feel like it was complete polar opposites? Like they should not be
I
on the
mean, based on the feedback that she's getting from fans, it seems to be polar opposites. I feel like they should have did like a song together.
Hmm.
Then that could have like introduced both of their fan bases to each other. And then when they came on tour, it's like, oh, they got a song together. I already know who this is. I'm already familiar.
Okay, hold on. Something just came to me. Let's backtrack. We're talking Dreamville. Remember the year J. Cole brought out Young Thug and Jaden Smith?
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about that? Did you think like when you heard it? Because I'm gonna tell you for me, when I heard it, I'm like, why is Thug? And then J. Cole opened for Thug. Because Thug
Mm-hmm.
was like, yo, J. Cole is opening for me.
Mm-hmm.
I remember J. Cole at that time was saying Young Thug is a genius, if y'all didn't know. So you got a Jaden Smith, a Young Thug, and a J. Cole, just comparing a Dreamville artist, because that is his artist. Do you feel like that made sense? Like if
I
I
feel
want
like it did make sense because it's still rap. Those are all rappers who already have like,
even Thug and J. Cole, like specifically, their rap.
even though they rap differently, they have their own type of artistry, but they're still rappers. So I feel
But
like that made sense because it's all
but
together.
isn't Ari and Rod both singers?
I don't consider Rod Wave a singer.
Oh, really?
I
Okay,
don't.
okay, that makes it. Okay, I thought he was a singer because he'd be like, "Been in my heart," and not. He just be like
He
crying.
has melodies like that's like saying Roddy Rich to me is a singer. It's melodies. It's like melodic.
Okay, okay. So
Yeah.
if we okay right now in this moment, right? Let's before we move on to the next topic. Who would be a fit if you knew Ari was going on? Who would you put Ari with?
I would put Ari with another singer, Queen Naija.
Elijah. And who would you put Rod with? Like, is there anybody that comes off the top of your mind that you would feel like would be a better Rod fit than an
Probably
Ari?
like Tusi.
Tusi would be a
I
great.
don't I think they already had a tour together, or was he on tour with them? I feel like
A
that made
boogie,
sense.
a boogie with the hoodie. Would that
Yeah,
work?
like you see what I'm saying? Like they have different fan bases, but it's still it goes together.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would.
I just think that was a good choice.
And I wonder if that's probably where she got caught up, right? You want to listen to your label or whoever's suggesting it, and then you're caught in the crossfire of the, I don't think this makes sense, but I think they
Mm-hmm.
kept should just advocate for herself. But shout out to Ari, shout out to Rod Wave. I pray that I don't know what's gonna end up happening, but I love Ari's music and Rod's music too. Lastly, for our 1, 2, 3, what it is this week, NBA YoungBoy. He's had a couple of interviews recently that was really dope. Wallow and Gilly, they went there and interviewed him on $1 million worth of game at Grave Diggers Mountain. And then Bootleg Kev went up there. And when Bootleg Kev went up there, he liked him so much, he did a part 2. So, and if you haven't seen it, it's really good. They're sitting in the living room and Bootleg Kev was like, it's just dope seeing you being a good father and everything. He was like, I'm not. And he was like, what? He said, I'm only in here with them because you here. And I remember Bootleg Kev was like, but I see the connection. So then Charlemagne gets on the Breakfast Club and he talks about how he's not big on fatherhood. And an NBA YoungBoy does a diss record called Donkey of the Day and saying, pull up, you can get this smoke. And then Charlemagne is just like, why would I pull up? And he was just like, that nigga out there. So the whole thing was NBA YoungBoy was like, Charlemagne talking about my fatherhood. But Charlemagne was like, you said that you're not big on fatherhood. It's not like I'm making this up. So now there's a beef and he had real livestock. He had real donkeys in the music video. But just wanted to know, what are your thoughts on NBA YoungBoy saying that he's not big on fatherhood?
I would have never thought that because he got so many kids. So that was a shock to me. I thought he just enjoyed,
making babies. Like another one.
That was a shock to me, saying I'm not really big on fatherhood. That's just crazy.
I wonder how the mothers and the kids will, I think about them. Like, damn, daddy. Like, like what you mean?
Yeah.
I thought he was big on fatherhood too, because he got like 10. He got like almost he got a basketball team almost.
He has a lot of kids, so that one really shocks me. But if
yeah.
he ain't big on it, I guess. I don't know.
That was one of the weird, it confused me. And I remember Charlamagne was like, I don't even know what he said to me in the song. He dissed me, but I don't even know what he said. I was like, whatever. But either way, it was a good interview. Shout out to all the fathers out here. One of the best hood. You know what the best hood is? It's sisterhood. Since we're on the topic of father.
Hello.
You're going to rep your hood in the comments. Put your favorite hood deep in our comments. Let us know what your favorite hood is. It's sisterhood, motherhood, brotherhood, fatherhood, HSP. We repping that sisterhood. Okay. Rolling right up into it. You want to, let me see. So we got 1, 2, 3, what it is with me. We got it off our breasts.
Now let's get into women's spotlight. So our women's spotlight for this episode is our Nana. She has her heavenly anniversary tomorrow. Don't really know how I'm gonna be feeling tomorrow. I was very emotional yesterday. Like I was crying like real bad yesterday. So I'm not sure how tomorrow is going to be, but still want to keep it positive, keep it as upbeat as I can. But that is our women's spotlight. How have you been feeling these past few days?
What's crazy? We did woman spotlight after 1, 2, 3, what it is with me, and we never did it like that. And Nana's anniversary is 1, 2, 3. So how am I feeling? I kind of this morning, I kind of I felt a little weird. I didn't know. It feels like it doesn't feel like it's been a year. I will say that I'm happy that I like where we are this year in our lives and in our careers right now, because going into this day last year was so tumultuous for all of us. Obviously, we didn't see that day coming, but I'm holding space for her. If it wasn't for you and mommy yesterday or the other day saying that y'all weren't doing anything, I hustle every day. So I was like, oh, maybe I should be still. So um I had a couple of meetings today. I'm trying to get as much done as I can today. We got our podcast. I got a couple of more meetings. I got acting class. I got a couple of things, but once I'm done, I'm linking up with my homie and we're gonna go have some drinks. It wasn't even like it's crazy because I haven't had drinks in a very long time, but I got invited and I was like, you know what? I don't really go out and just kick it, So I was like, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna sleep in whatever time I wake up. Yeah, I don't really know. I might binge. I don't know what to do, but I am gonna just let the day do whatever. I told anybody, if you call me, I'm not taking any meetings. I'm not doing, like my phone will be on. So, cause I just want to just hold space for whatever I feel that day. But I don't feel as heavy as I thought. And Nana didn't have a heavy spirit, so it's hard to be heavy with her. because Nana just wasn't a heavy person, you know? It's more painful than I thought about, am I gonna watch a vlog? I really wanted to get her shirt made. We shout out to so me and Jay, shout out to, we got about 9. We got a few minutes to our commercial break and everything, but yeah, I don't know what's going on with you, but I was gonna say your time, and I don't know what's going on, Shorty, because I'm looking like, okay, I see it. But Jay and I created a shirt design. We had this idea last year that we wanted to make a shirt for Nana that would celebrate her life, but it wasn't going to be like a rest in peace style. We wanted to do a concert style. So I wanted to make this announcement. Our beautiful mother is launching her nonprofit in honor of our Nana called Beautiful Blessed Life. It's going to be a grief support group for women that, or not just women, people that have lost a parent and don't have a support group. A lot of us don't know how to cope with the loss of a loved one, especially someone as significant as a mother. So in conjunction with our mom launching her business that we're going to be on the board for, Jay and I created a shirt design. It says Foxy B on the front, which is Nana's nickname, and it's gold and black, some of her favorite colors. And on the back, it says a beautiful, blessed life. So that is.
Let's not give away too many details because I want this to be for Ma's launch thing.
Okay. All right, for sure. Okay, you're right. My bad, y'all. Okay. Yeah, so there's going to be more, but to answer your question about how that was my preparation to help mommy, with that in the shirt. So you'll see us, maybe one of our episodes, you'll see us wearing it. So God willing, if I can get it printed tomorrow or just have it, that's my goal. But either way, if it's not tomorrow, I'll get them mailed out. So not to make that super, super long-winded, but shout out to Nana. 1, 2, 3. We love you. Forever, ever, ever, ever.
Nana!
Yes, you want to get into our song of the week before we go to our commercial break?
Yes, so my song of the week, well, for the past couple of weeks, honestly, I just ain't put it up here, but Flo Milli Never Lose Me. I don't know what she put in it. It might have been crack because that thing is on repeat for me. Have you heard it?
No, I haven't. We got to figure out, honestly, this year we need to figure out, I want this stuff to come up in the podcast. Everybody else be playing their songs and showing clips.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get more, because I feel like it'd be like, I'm going to go listen. I'll let y'all know what I think. Y'all, like, I want to hear it. But no, I haven't heard Flo Milli. But you did put me on there. She got that Dora the Explorer song.
Yeah. That's old, though. But
I know. I just want to make sure. I know. I don't shout out Flo Milli, but we're just cracking it. This is what we're
Yeah. It's really good. It has Lil Yachty featured on it, too. But when you listen to it, it's just when you put it on, it's just like, it's just all in the shoulders for me. It's just like a real vibe. So, yeah, let me know when you listen to it. What's your song of the week?
Speaking of shoulders, you were moving your hips to my new song yesterday, so I already know I got one.
Hey,
Flip your shit. Okay. My song, baby, tell me what's the move. Got a Louis Velvet, I can tell it ain't from dude. Chasing dollar signs and telling she don't play. She don't really care what people say. Yeah. Shout out to DDG. I love you. I love the song, the album. Like, I know you got an album coming soon. Shout out to Hitmaker. They sampled the Lil Mama. What you know about me? What you know about me? We watched the video together the other day. That was fun. I love when, like, I want a fun fact, me and Jay will just sometimes be like, all right, 3, 2, 1. Jay start counting down. It's time to press play. We binging YouTube videos. That is one of my favorite things to do with you. And we did that the other day, but I love that song. Was that your first time hearing it when we watched it together yesterday?
Her first time hearing it all the way through. I've only heard clips before.
Oh, I know. How do you feel? I know DDG is a YouTuber turned rapper. Do you like that song, or is it?
Yeah, I like the song.
I think he's one of my favorite people that have crossed over. Him and not Queen Naja. They are my goals for YouTube. But yes, that is my song. I had another song, but what was my? Yeah, I had another song I held on to. I think last week was our Cash Doll. We agreed on that one. So when we come back from our break, what we got the heavy hitter, we got memory lane, and we got our fingertips. I think we actually, did you have a fingertip for today?
Yeah, we did.
Did.
We got a joint fingertip.
Oh, okay, all right. Yo, today I found out Pluto was in a Capricorn and now it's moving into Aquarius. So I think that's why I'm just forgive us if we seem a little different today, but we're here. We're consistent.
Fun fact, she thinks retrograde is happening every daggone day that something goes wrong. And then she looks it up and says, it's retrograde. So that makes sense why XYZ happened. And I just want her to stop blaming these planets on everything. Like, it makes sense at times, but just because you was in a 20-minute line getting a matcha don't mean it's retrograde. That's all I'm saying. So we are going to go to our commercial break and we will be back.
Oh, God. Welcome back to the HSP Hood Sistas Podcast. Shout out to Tide Water. Stay hydrated. You know what I'm saying? Never dry. Always fly. Out the sky. Dripping Tide Water. You dig? It's something in the water. Oh, man, I didn't even realize it. Yeah, I got something in the Tide Water. I love how I did that. Don't you throw that away. Throw it in the trash. Recycle it.
I'm sorry.
You don't even bathe in nothing else but Tide Water. Next time you take a bath, you better pour all Tide Water in the bath.
That would be pretty wasteful.
Spring
That
water.
would be pretty wasteful.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let's get into our next topic. Our heavy hitter for this week is anxiety. Are you boxing the anxiety?
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about this. I'm excited.
All right, so for me, I want to talk about this because today I felt myself getting a little anxious. Sometimes I get anxiety. I'm going to act like I did not just see that. Sometimes I get anxiety. Oh. All right. Sometimes I get anxiety and I don't really know the reason or the cause of it. I just feel myself getting worked up over nothing. Like this morning, I was just laying down. And then I don't know if it's because I was aimlessly scrolling on social media that triggered it or what happened, but I just really got super overwhelmed and had anxiety and felt like there was just like a to-do list in my head. Like I had to do a bunch of stuff and I was just sitting here, laying here, not being productive. But essentially, I just got off my phone and then I went to lay down for like 30 minutes and I got back up and I was okay. But I feel like with anxiety, it's really just about being mindful of what you're doing, because you could be the person that works on yourself every single day, but you're still going to have a day when you're off. And I used to be like, when I got anxiety in certain situations, I felt like I wasn't progressing or I wasn't working on myself. But honestly, you're just always going to have a day. Like you could be the most mindful person, something can throw you off. So I was just telling myself that when I took my little 30-minute breather, just to remind myself that I have come a long way and that just because I'm having a moment doesn't mean I'm going back to how I used to be with handling my emotions and stuff like that.
Do you find that when you feel anxiety, like, is it usually a time of the day when you wake up in the morning? Like, are there certain points where you like, I just know anxiety is just trying to
sometimes it could be triggered by certain situations. Like if I'm at work and it's a lot going on, like back to back to back, I could find myself getting anxiety in those moments. But this morning, I literally wasn't doing anything and I got anxiety. So it's kind of like sometimes I can tell this might trigger my anxiety, or sometimes it just happens.
Do you feel like you can feel the growth in how you're managing your anxiety now versus how you ever used to handle it? Like, can you compare how Jay handles, or any tips for how you navigate anxiety today versus the way that it wasn't working for you in the past?
Yeah, in the past, I don't think I was able to identify it. Like I would just get super overwhelmed and I'd probably start crying because I felt like my emotions were everywhere and I felt like I wasn't in control. These days, I'm more mindful, like, oh, this is a little bit of anxiety. Let me take a step back. Let me take a breather. So I'm able to identify it now than when I was in the past.
At first, it felt like it was just happening to you and you just couldn't prevent it. Now it's just like, danger.
Yeah, right. Stop sign. Let's take a breather. Yeah.
When did you first discover, would you feel like, is it accurate to say I have anxiety, or do you feel like you just have moments when you're feeling anxious or feeling anxiety?
I'm not sure about that one because I feel like I just do have anxiety. But it's not like every single day I have anxiety. Like if I'm maybe it's like a big event or something coming up, I can get anxious about that. Or if it's I'm planning for something and then it's time for that thing to happen, I can get anxiety about that. And then other times it could be just like little spurts, it could just randomly happen. So I know there's like certain times and events that I know can trigger it, and then other times it's just random. So I feel like I probably just have anxiety and I'm figuring out how to work with it. I don't think I just have anxious moments, but at the same time, it's not like a 24/7 thing. I don't have anxiety every single day.
Do you have a go-to, right? Like I ask you this because when I talk about my experience with anxiety, has there ever been a time that any point of your anxiety that you just knew that if I play this song or if I get this drink or if I do this or do that, that it's just like it's gonna just instantly calm me or soothe me? Like play a gospel song or a Bible verse, like or something that just
Mm-hmm.
be able to be like, oh, like that's my center, my anchor to keep you less anxious.
Yeah, when I took my breather, I did my Bible scripture for the day because I did that a little bit later on today, and that really calmed me down. So I feel
Okay.
like really it's just prayer and reading the Bible is what centers me these days. Sometimes if I'm at work and I don't have like a moment to myself, I just have to like talk myself down.
Okay. Talk yourself down. Like what does that sound like? I mean, if you feel comfortable, like what does that mean? Like you got like you're just talking to yourself, like you're fine, you're okay. Like,
Yeah, it's just like don't let this one moment like ruin your day, or like don't let this get to you. Like it's okay to feel this way, but just keep pushing. Just like stuff like that. It just depends on the situation.
hmm, okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you say your anxiety? Do you have any anxiety about tomorrow?
No, I don't have any anxiety about tomorrow. I'm just letting tomorrow be what it is because I don't when it was Nana's birthday, for instance, I felt like I wanted to do so many things to celebrate her. But tomorrow it's just like I'm just gonna let it be what it is and let my emotions be because I don't feel like I've fully like grieved that she's transitioned. Like I have my moments where I'll just be crying, then it's like, oh, I gotta get myself together. I'm at work. Like I haven't had a moment just to sit with myself and my feelings because I feel like it was always something that I had to do, that I had to put on face and just keep pushing throughout the day.
Hmm. I feel that, man. It's interesting. That we're talking about anxiety today. I know we have a lot of different heavy hitter topics, but I had anxiety, or I thought I may have felt some anxiety couple weeks ago. I forgot it was in the morning, and something hit me. Like I wake up in the morning and a lot of times people be like, you're so positive, you're so happy. And I'm like, I choose this. I know Beyonce say I woke up like this. I don't wake up like this. I'm not just happy. I don't wake up out of bed just ready to seize the day. It's really a mental like battlefield of the mind. Mommy always talks about that. So I wake up and it's just like, okay, you're gonna have a great day. A lot of affirmations. So I've noticed that my days are just optimistic and positive overall. I do feel when I'm not in my prayer or my meditation as much, but it doesn't throw my day. But one day, I'm in the car, I'm having this conversation, and I'm like, why can't anxiety feel like genuine so anxious?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought to myself that we have power in words, right? So it's like if I say I'm anxious or I have anxiety, the first thing you think is mental health, and I'm just flustered and all over the place. But if you were to place so anxious by genuine, the anxiousness that you feel when you're about to get into a space with someone that you're attracted to, it made me think. I was like, well, if I feel anxiety, I had a theory. What if every time I felt anxiety, I played genuine so anxious? Because I
Mm-hmm.
when I used to have anxiety a lot, I would play Nipsey Hussle. It would always calm me down. And I just think about the BPM, or just like if you heard 9 o'clock home alone, it's like, can you be anxious hearing this type of music? So I told myself that in the future, when I feel anxiety, I want you to try it. I don't know if it's going to come to your mind. I'm not saying don't read the Bible and don't pray. Please do those things. But
Yeah.
I'm curious just what the mind will do, right? Because if you're hearing I'm so anxious, right, in a song, but what he's singing about doesn't match what's in your body, what are you going to believe? Are you going to believe the
Mm-hmm.
anxiety I'm feeling, or the literal definition of it? And I think that that's something that I'm big on, being a rapper, being a wordsmith. It's like, let's take the power out of that. Like this anxiety can be whatever you want it to be. And that's how I felt. So I'm like, if I feel anxious, I'm feeling like genuine. Like that's the feeling I want to feel. Because I do feel like I didn't realize I think I first had my first experience with anxiety probably back in 2015. I think when Sonia passed away, rest in peace, sunshine. First moved to LA. I couldn't explain the overwhelming feelings that I was having, but once I started to go to therapy, I identified that it was just this like on edge feeling about whatever's to come. But I feel like a lot of anxiety is rooted in not being in the present moment. Because what are you
Mhm.
aiming for? So if I can practice being present, then there's less anxiety, because anxiety, I don't know, people like, what are we anxious for right now? Like there's no preparation for being in right now. If you're just in right now, then you remove anxiety. So I try to look at it like, yo, just like where you at? Like kind of sensory. I think that was one of the tricks to anxiety. Look for something you could see, something you could taste, something you could touch, you could smell. And then once you touch something, I touch the chapstick. Taste, I taste water. Smell, I smell good. See, I see the future. Like, like, you know what I mean? Like picking those things
Yeah.
would be like tactics to do that. But I will say, just being your sister, going through the seasons and seeing what you've experienced, I could say that you're so much better emotionally. Like the way that you manage your anxiety or depression, like girl, you've been just picking up. I'm so proud of you. It's sometimes, I mean, I wasn't not proud. Yo, oh, I got a memory. I know we mentioned Nana. Oh God, I got an anxious memory. I have a very anxious memory. And I'm like, if you don't get your shit together, I remember I'm like, yo,
I feel like I know which one you're talking about.
you know what I'm talking about? Oh my God. That's all I'm gonna say. SRO. Like you're just that was one of them days. But it's like if you compare yourself back to then, right? And I'm like, if you don't come on, like, but I also understand too, anxiety. When you hit new levels of life, you don't know if you're prepared to, like in that moment, you might have felt defeated. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, why are you acting like this? But I just want to give you your flowers because I love how you're handling yourself emotionally. And it's only up from here. We got to hold each other down because it was times. Oh God, it's been some times like I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to check out. But I can't do that. I can't do that. I gotta stay. So, whew, I'm just glad that we don't have the same anxiety that we used to. Because
Yeah.
yeah, I just don't. I don't want that for us. We've went through a lot emotionally, and I think that I love your routine. I don't know if you want to speak to that too, but the way that you said you've been doing your mornings recently, that you've been in this white
Mhm.
space, that white room. Matter of fact, that
Yeah.
white room you talk about reminds me of the 20 guys versus like the 20 challenge. You ever seen that on YouTube? It's like 20 guys versus a girl, or
Oh, yeah.
that's that white space you be talking about, right? Like you just want to just be blank.
Hmm.
Like I feel like your routine, I'm wondering, is that why you're feeling so light and fluffy?
Yeah, probably so. I think I had touched on it last episode, but it's really just being intentional with my mornings, like having a slow morning as opposed to waking up and running out the door. Um, so I'll wake up, I'll do my Bible study, I'll pray, I'll journal, and then I'll read for like 20 to 30 minutes. And then after that, that's when I get into getting dressed, having breakfast, doing all that stuff. So that's how I start my day. Um, Only other thing I haven't thrown in is incorporating the gym in my routine because that was very helpful for me when I was consistent with that. But that's basically it, and that's been really helpful to me lately. That might have been why I was a little off this morning because I didn't start this morning off how I usually did. I kind of started this morning off a little backwards, but once I buckled down, I felt better.
Oh God, the buckle down. Like God damn.
Well,
But it'd be like that, right? It's like you'd be like, I knew I should have just meditated for like 2 minutes. Like, it's like you'd be like, why didn't I stick to, like, that's why I feel like if you have a day and you know that you pray for 20 minutes, right? And you meditate for 10, if you could just do a portion of that, read one page of the book, pray, meditate for 2 minutes. I'm like, get the yoga in for 3 minutes, stretch while you're in the bed. Like we were talking about that yesterday. People like, I don't have
yeah.
time to stretch. Wake up, just stretch while you're right there in the bed. You know what I'm saying? Do whatever you got to do. I don't know why I have a lot of motion today. Like, jump me. Oh, goodness. But yes, the heavy hitter, quitter. We gonna knock anxiety out. Next time you're feeling anxious, make sure you play Genuine So Anxious. Maybe it'll make you feel less anxious.
Hey now.
All right.
So do you want to do this memory lane that you were talking about, or you want to stick with the one we got?
Nana. I mean, we said Nana. Like, We don't need to do two memories. It's okay. We can stick. It's about Nana. It's just Nana's day. That was a funny day. It's all good. Yeah. You said you got one for Nana, we got to come up with one for Nana. Is that what we were? Okay.
Yeah.
I got one.
Okay, go ahead.
So I don't know if you remember this. I think it was me, you, and Lady. We were all in Windsor visiting Nana, and it was around the time that I was trying to incorporate meditation into my life. Yo, yo, you didn't even, I already know you know where I'm going with this. Oh my God. We were trying to practice mindfulness. It was Christmas. We went down to Windsor and I went to Nana and I said, hey, Nana, Lady, Jay, and I are going to go in your bedroom and we're going to meditate. So please do not enter the room. Don't come in here. Don't say nothing. Don't do nothing. Okay. So, and yeah, we've done, I think if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if I opened my eye and I looked at you were looking at me, but we're all sitting Indian style with our hands. We're trying to meditate. We might have been in the groove, maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. Nana just swing the door open. Hey, yo, what's up? Y'all in here doing like, Nana, I told you not to come in here. Yeah, like you said y'all was meditating. I wanted to come see what y'all was doing. We're doing nothing. I remember trying to express to her that I'm sitting still in silence and I can't meditate. Y'all just gonna just sit up in here being quiet. And I remember I was so aggravated with Nana. I'm like, cause it's like, I think I talked to mommy about this. She was like, I feel like Nana just wanted to see what y'all was doing. It's like, you could tell her, don't bother us. But Nana's like, I'm going up in that room to see what they doing. And I was so with her. I'm like, cause mommy did that while I was doing yoga one time. I would never swing on my mom. I don't know what I wanted to do, but I was angry with her. She tapped me while I was doing yoga. I was like, don't you do that. Don't you ever touch me. Like, hell no. If you don't get your hands off me. But do you remember that when Nana, oh my God, I was so angry.
Yeah, I remember that. I feel like that's Nana's thing. Do you remember when I was doing a facial on you when I had my business set up and Nana just came in the room? She just kept asking questions. I was like, Nana, you can be in here and watch what we're doing, but please stop asking questions because it's messing up the relaxation, right?
Put up on that scooter. What y'all doing? Like, yo. Nana did not care. Oh my God. Mommy sent us that. I know this is a random memory, but since we talking about Nana, you remember when I scared her when I went downstairs naked? And
yeah.
Were you filming me?
Yeah.
Because I was like, wait, who had the camera? Nana was on the toilet like, oh. I said, Jay, film me naked going to scare Nana. You were like, why? I'm like, just listen. I got naked. I ran downstairs. Nana was pooping. I opened the door and Nana thought she saw a ghost. She was like, oh, just, what is you naked for? Oh my God. Mommy sent that memory the other day. I was no good, but yes, the meditation, hearing Nana naked. Oh my goodness. Okay. We're gonna get right into the fingertips before we wind on down for the day. When life gives you speed bumps, what do you think you should do?
Drive over them.
I feel that.
Fun.
That bump in the road. I get frustrated when I'm going through places and I'm like, there's no one around. Why are these speed bumps here? You ever get like, oh, you should see me running over speed bumps.
Oh, wait till you come see me in my little neighborhood.
You got speed bumps?
A lot of them.
Really? God wants you to slow down. That's probably why God put all them speed bumps around you. I just want you to slow down, Jay.
It's really, to be technical, I think it's really a safety thing because we're in a neighborhood. You don't need to go fast as kids and stuff like that. So you need to be going a certain speed. You can't be going 50 over a speed bump. You're going to crash. So I feel like it's really technicalities. But when you look at it overall in perspective, you will get speed bumps in your life because sometimes you just, like you said, God maybe wants you to slow down, or you have to realize that just because you are slowing down doesn't mean you're coming to a stop. It just might be a little minor pause in the road, a minor little readjustment, but you're still going to keep going.
Keep going, keep going. Ooh, keep going, keep going. I don't know why I just like dancing, but no, you're absolutely right. Like there's been a lot of God knows when it come to cars, like just the speed bumps in the road, like you
Mhm.
just knowing that things aren't going to always work out the way that you do. So, and you've been like an advocate for me, like, yo, sis, like, it's okay. Like, I know sometimes I can get really hard on myself if I hit a speed bump, but it's like traffic, right? If you're on the freeway and there's an accident, there's going to be a detour. It's going to be a different route, no matter what. I'm pretty sure there's been a destination you've been headed to, and whatever way you wanted to go was not that way. Are you going to just complain and moan about it? No, you're going to just find another route. And we got to look at life. If traffic is going to do that to us, even in the middle of the night, a lot of times I get on the freeway, they're working on the freeway late at night. So
Mhm.
I feel like traffic is a good place to practice patience, and just understand that if it happens to you, it's happening for you. Like there's a reason. Redirection's God's protection. We say that all the time. There's another way. Maybe God didn't want you to go that way. Maybe you would have gotten an accident. Maybe who knows or whatever. So yeah, when there's a bump in the road, run that bitch over.
Amen.
Just,
Just keep. You might
just
need to break a little, but just keep going.
that part. That part. Man, this is episode 2 of the year, right? We on 2?
Yes, we're on a. All right, y'all. But thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of HSP Hood Sistas Podcast.
Podcast.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on social media at Hood Sistas Podcast, and we will see y'all in episode 3.
Manifest Mondays. Shoot your shot. Bow.
All right.
Side water.
Bye.